Hi, my name is Ben Scully. I am the president here at Avatara. Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about security. The number one reason why customers come on to the Complete Cloud platform is security. Either they're just a business owner that is concerned about the threat factor that's out in the market, or the business is in a regulated industry. So lots of DoD contractors, banks and other financial companies, healthcare, as it goes. So what I want to do today is I have a lot of people ask me, Ben, what is the number one thing that I should do to protect my business from a cybersecurity attack? And unfortunately, my answer is there isn't one. When we look at what you need to have in place from a cybersecurity standpoint to protect your business, you have to have a layered approach. So that's just what we've done with our solution. Is we've made sure that we have looked at the threat landscape that's out there and make sure we put a series of protections in place to protect our customers. So I'm going to take you through those layers that all add up to what we call our managed security solution. The first one is just a framework. Okay, you have to have a set of policies and procedures to guide your organization from a cybersecurity standpoint. We use NIST 800-171, which is really transitioning over into CMMC 2.0 level 2, since we have such a big defense niche. Those set of rules are really what dictate what we do from a cybersecurity standpoint. Outside of kind of the policies and procedures, the starting point is a secure foundation. Our starting point is putting all of the data into a secure enterprise level data center. SOC audited, with all of the protections that you would expect to have a kind of the physical arms around your data. Armed guards, biometric access, procedures with locked cabinets. So really to the nth degree from a security standpoint physically. And again, with our platform, that's where all the data is. So we're not worried about data being out on laptops or in various sites because we centralize and make sure that all the data is kept within that private cloud environment inside that secure data center. You then have the set of policies that you have to put in place. These are your lockout policies, your password policies, different security groups to make sure that you as an organization always know where your most sensitive data is and who has access to it. We're going to protect the environment with firewalls, both from a server standpoint as well as at each of the individual sites. With the firewalls, or I should say outside of the firewalls, so when you're accessing the environment from remote, we're going to use multi-factor authentication. This is the number one thing that you can do to protect against ransomware. Okay? Most ransomware starts with a bad guy on a desktop. So if we can make sure that, hey, if a password gets compromised and gets sent out there into the world, that we have that second layer of defense with multi-factor authentication in place. We're going to obviously have endpoint protection on all devices, and endpoint protection has, let's say, matured from past. So does a really good job quarantine things if things do hit the environment. We're going to have content filtering in place. And this is to make sure if your employees hit one of these sites or tries to go to one of these sites that has malware, that they can't get there, that we're going to stop them at the edge of your environment so they don't go to these sites. And God forbid a Trojan does land on one of the desktops and calls home for a virus, this content filtering also will stop it from calling home. So it's a key part of the overall security stature. Email is a big one, right? So we'll have the spam filters in place to protect, because a large percentage of the email that, or I should say viruses, start from an email that's sent to an employee through a phishing attack. Spam filters will never keep everything out, but it's an important part of what we do from a security standpoint. We do layer a secure email tool in place beyond just the traditional spam filter that will allow our customers to either automate or policy-driven encryption for emails that they're sending out. It also has a level of DLP or data loss prevention that's built into it as well. So there's a kind of a second layer of security from an email standpoint. Probably the most important thing, and I know I said at the front end of this that there was no such thing as a most important thing, but we do have a partnered third-party security company that helps us protect the environment. Okay, and they have agents on all the servers that do host-based intrusion detection. They do vulnerability scans every weekend that give us POAMs or things that we need to do over the course of the week to make sure that things are buttoned up from a security standpoint. This is all backed with a 24/7 security operations center. So they're literally looking at the environment 24/7, making sure that nobody's attacking. Because quite frankly, the bad guys don't hack at 2 o'clock in the afternoon on Wednesday. It's in the middle of the night on Saturday when they think nobody's looking. And for our environment, we do have somebody that's looking at all times. The number one weakness to everybody's environment is their people. Okay, and I hate to say it, but even if you think about all of you folks that have filled out the cyber, if you're getting cyber insurance, the questionnaires used to be all about firewalls and the antivirus software you had in the platform. And now what they're worried about is the people. You know, are you training your people? Do you send them through cyber threat education? Are you using multi-factor authentication? So one of the key things that we do with all of our users is we take them through quarterly trainings to make sure that they know what the latest threats are. We also use phishing simulations. Yep, we're actually going to pretend like we're attacking your people with emails to make sure that if they are making mistakes or that training doesn't quite stick, that we train them kind of on impact and provide manager reports so that management knows, you know, their people have been trained and yes, they're doing okay with the phishing simulation. So it's a big part of what we do from a security standpoint. There's a couple of other, I would call it software components that we layer in. We have a secure file sharing tool that allows our users to send data or collaborate with folks outside the environment, doing so with the appropriate encryption in place, the FIPS. There's FIPS certified encryption on our secure file sharing tool. So that's an important part of the overall security stature when it comes to collaborating and communicating with people that are outside of the environment. We do have data loss prevention tools in place on that tool as well as within the secure email tool. So it's important that your most critical data, that you know who's accessing, where it's going. So those sort of things are put in place. And then finally, it's what we do from a consulting and administrative standpoint to help our customers with compliance, right? And it could be as simple as helping them answer one of these security questionnaires that comes from an insurance company or from one of their big customers, or full-blown audits, you know, taking banks through their bank exam every 18 months, or helping our defense contractors with their future CMMC audits or assessments. We kind of come in and go side by side with our customers to help them out. So it's not just the technology part of it, but it's actually helping them communicate to other constituents, whether it be customers or the industry, to show the documentation with the policies and the procedures and the associated evidence to make sure that everybody knows that, yeah, they're putting their best foot forward from a security standpoint. So that's our managed security solution. So it's very much a layered approach all the way from a physical security standpoint through all the layers of technology that you need to put in place through the security engineers they're looking at from a 24/7 standpoint, and our consultants on staff that help our customers from a compliance standpoint with their customers. So hopefully that was helpful. And again, this is the number one reason why people come on our platform. It's a security-first platform. And please, if you have any questions or concerns, reach out. We'd love to talk about how we're helping our customers. Thanks.